what we get. Cool, we're on. Right, let's give this a crack and see if solid layout. I don't know what that is. Can I move it? Just trying to remember how to do this. I haven't done it for a while. All right. As we should always start by having the mind in the right frame, literally just as the Qs and the SPYs are going to all-time highs. It is absurdity, guys. It is absolutely ridiculous. But whatever. Okay, quote from Atlas Shrugged. But money demands of you the highest virtues, if you wish to make it or keep it. Men who have no courage, pride, or self-esteem, men who have no moral sense of their right to their money, are not willing to defend it as they defend their life. Men who apologize for being rich will not remain rich for long. They are the natural bait for the swarms of looters that stay under rocks for centuries, but come crawling out the first smell of a man who begs to be forgiven for the guilt of owning wealth. They will hasten to relieve him of the guilt and of his life as he deserves. I agree. Then you'll see the rise of men of the double standard, the men who live by force, yet count on those who live by trade to create the value of their looted money. The men who are the hitchhikers of virtue. In a moral society, these are the criminals, and the statutes are written to protect you against them. But when a society establishes criminals by right and looters by law, men who use force to seize the wealth of disarmed victims, then money becomes its creator's avenger. Let's leave it there and let's get into it. So, righto, we're smashing all-time highs. I'm just going to go over. I've got more things on my screen, but for whatever reason, it's not really letting me share an enormous amount. So what I'm showing you is my TradeAvate account, which is where I put my trades in. I also have the SPY chart and the QQQ chart up in front of me. They're the main ones that I watch. I place my trades based on the 5-minute time frame, and I manage my levels through the 30-minute and also find levels through the 30-minute. This top one's my 5-minute. This bottom one is my 20-minute. We're going to look at the ES, which is equivalent to the SPY, so the futures for the SPY, and it looks like, we've had this massive gap up this morning. So this is all the gap from yesterday, which should create some really cool opportunities. So let's just jump over to the 30-minute chart, and I'll show you basically what I'm sort of playing. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to switch over to, let's switch to, hold on, share screen. I'm just going to switch to the SPY graph that I've got over here because it's a little bit easier. Oh, hold on. I made the wrong one. My bad. This one. Let's just make that a bit bigger for you. So you should be able to see that quite easily now. Yeah, there you go. That's good. Okay. So levels. Let's zoom out to the daily initially. And as you can see, we are just in all-time high territory. These black bars are like my weekly reference. So I do my major levels from the weekly, mainly because the higher the time frame, the better the chance is. Now, ideally, you want sort of 3 touches around the box or from over and above. Now, this one's not as good because you don't have that wick down, so it would be really nice. But this one's great because you've got a weekly weekly close here and a weekly open there, as well as this wick. So you've got, this is a really nice level, this 534 level on the weekly, quite strong, which should now, as we're over it, should be providing good support for pullbacks. So any pullbacks there is very, very attractive. Now let's go have a look at what happened yesterday and how I completely fucked that up. You can see we got this beautiful pullback to the bottom of this is that same black box just on the weekly range. And that wasn't my entry. This blue line's a daily close from day before. So there. It tagged it, and then we've just had this beautiful run up. Gorgeous, and I completely fucked up yesterday. But per the charts, it was textbook day. Really, really textbook. My problem was I was chasing IWM. So I have now retired IWM. I'm not going to trade it anymore because basically I've lost too much on it. And I just screwed up yesterday so royally. Wiped out weeks and weeks of really, really good, steady, consistent trades. Very frustrating. So, 30-minute chart. Let's see what we've got here. These blue lines are key daily closes and daily limits. This was a previous all-time high. So, my ideal setup for the SPY or the ES today is a pullback to this 536. If we get price to pull back to 536, it's a fucking dream. That's a really, really, really good setup. And then what you want to see is something like happened here with these candles. I'll jump down to the 5-minute chart because this is how I time my entries. So I've got my levels, and then I look at making my entries off this 5-minute chart. This yellow is the anchored VWAP for the day. So each day I put an anchored VWAP on and I leave one previously. You don't have to use that. You can just use lines, whatever. It doesn't really matter. But you can see here you've got this fucked me out because you got like a little double top there, and I was like, ooh, okay, we might come down. I don't think I shorted it, but I was looking at certainly a pullback. Really nice pullback. Here it's checked, it's held under 34, so I'm thinking here, all right, cool, we're going down. Didn't happen. As soon as this broke over, this is the point. If you're short here, you exit here. We're over, it's held over that level, catch you later. And then you look for your entry. That week is a really nice entry. Or here. But a little bit hard because you've got this massive fucking red candle engulfer. So it's not beautiful for entries, but if you were just trusting that level, it was okay. The Qs is where it was really at yesterday. So for an entry purpose, this is a daily low. Like this was just beautiful, 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 beautiful. It's like touched this level so sexily. This was the low that I was looking for. So 61.50, it was about 50 points off. So if we look at that low from the day previous, so close, but you can see how this has behaved and just boom. The entry for mine was once it was over this low. So this break, you've held over that daily VWAP. This was your entry. That would have given you, if you did it correctly, I would have exited here. And this would have been another entry on that VWAP using that as support. And you can see this beautiful wick. Gorgeous. Like, it was gorgeous. I wasn't watching it. Completely missed this. But this was a massive, massive opportunity yesterday. I had all the levels there. I just played it atrociously badly. So my fuck up, but this was beautiful, beautiful setup yesterday. Really, really nice for the Qs. So what have we got today? We'll just go back to the SPY and look at pathing that I am thinking of today. So I want that. Pathing. Right. So ideally what we get is a rejection of this overnight high, which is there. And ideally a pullback to either here and up or a pullback. This is my favorite. If we don't get that move, but we get a pullback to here, 536, and then we bounce back through. And I would think blue sky territories from there. This would be a dream of a rechase. Now, we're probably not going to get this point here just because the gap's so fucking big. It could be something as simple as back here, like that level where you've got this point here. There's a lot of different options that you can play out there. The other one, the very, very bullish one would be boom, bang, boom, bang. That would be really bullish. I don't know. I don't know. Like, you've got Jerome Powell speaking. Yesterday, this has been a bit of a theme too, and it really annoys me. Yesterday, with that grind up, you usually do not get that into numbers that were coming out today. Usually not. So I believe there were people in here that knew what the fuck was going to happen today, and they were just having a nice steady accumulation through there. Even though the volume was really low, look at the spike at the end of the day. It's just so odd that it would do that into something like this. Anyway, these sort of options. Ideally, the gap close is what you want. So this blue box is representative of gap. Pull back to 36.90 is a good entry. Pull back to 30. Why do I have that? Oh, because I think that was previous all-time high. Oh, no, that is. No, there you go, righto. So pull back to 537, basically. Pull back to 537 is A+ setup for the SPY and a bounce. And then you just need to look for those candles moving around to see whether or not you enter there. For the Qs, we're looking at pullback to 468. If you get that pullback to 468, maybe give it a touch under just with these overnight lows. Then look for those wicks, look for those candles, and boom, all-time highs. You can use the IWM as a bit of a barometer which just fucking kept going. Wow. For the SPY, if this goes up really strongly, these will go up really strongly. Now, to me, this is an enormous overreaction. I'm going to, because these levels are very, very key for me, I'm going to do some spreads on my longer term portfolio, betting that this will come back down, just because these levels are just brick walls on the SPY. And if you go to the longer time frame here, you can just, it's just struggling so heavily on weekly basis to get through these. Oh, that might need to be adjusted up mildly. Just extend it a little. Yep. It's just been struggling so heavily to get through these levels. So yeah, if it gets up to the sort of 207, I'm doing spreads and just banking that it will go down. I give myself sort of 2-3 weeks. Take it if it's 80% up. If not, just hold the expiration. Be okay with it going to zero, about 1,000 to $2,000 at a time. And yeah, going that way. But you've got massive gap now after this enormous engulfer in here. If you get a weekly close over this, like sort of probably over this point, over 208, then you could probably think about pulling the pin. But for me, this is still within my frame of working for this stock, and I'm going to use that. I'm going to essentially short that based on this level. Once we get over 208, then I lose, and I'm out. But everything else is really bullish. This is really bullish for today. Everything today is bullish. I think you would be insane to short this market, and that's something I need to tell myself. Had I been clearer on that yesterday, I would have made a lot of money, but I fucked up. So don't do what I did yesterday. Don't fuck up. Make some money today. Be patient. Look for the setups. This is the pathing. That's your overnight high. So you want to see this, very bullish. I don't think that's the most likely outcome. Or you want to see this, a failure of the overnight high, pull back, close the gap, and maybe some chop base building there, and then we shoot off to all-time highs. That would be another option. They're probably the only two ones I'd do. I don't think I'd play this trade back down here. I really don't think you're going to see a trace back that far. It's just massive. Could happen. I doubt it. But your levels are clear. Stop loss is clear. Wait for the signals. SPY, again, just don't look short. Don't try and short this. It's insanity. Over, bounce, see you later, all-time highs. Or the preferential A plus setup is this gap close, bounce here for a bit, maybe a double bottom, and then boom, all-time highs. This trade this is a month maker right here. So there's some really, really cool setups on the pullbacks, but you just need to be patient. The other level that could happen here is this, right? You could get something like that just off this point, this overnight sort of consolidation. So, be okay, be a little bit flexible with that. These are still brilliant setups. And if you enter on quite light size here, then you could have a really nice one. But wait for that formation, right? 5-minute double bottom, the 15-minute. Oh, mate's way better at this than me. I need to draw. Fuck. I make a brush. So you want, this is your double bottom on sort of the 5-minute. You could get your 1 hour hammer like that, or head and shoulders. So boom, maybe it peaks below, comes back up, bottoms, and then goes something like that, right? So that's what you're looking for. Wait for that for your entry. And yeah, guys, there's some very, very cool opportunity. Just if it just gaps and goes, just be cautious. But that possibility is definitely there. Don't overstay your welcome on these upsides. They could keep running, keep some runners, but take some profits and get out. Right, gonna leave it there. Go have a green day. We got 15 minutes till open. Yeah, I don't know that I've got a lot else. Oh, do you know what? Let's go through some of my long-term stuff. So these are things that I'm looking as just cash flow, and they also fund my failures when I fail on these trades. I have a few longer-term options plays that I'm playing. I was trading options, but I lost way too much money, so I've gone back to being a lot more conservative. So here's some companies that I'm selling puts on that I would buy very, very happily, mainly because of their insanely ridiculous price levels. So you can't even see, it's still not back far enough. Yeah, okay. This is Vodafone. This is 1996. These are the levels that Vodafone is at now. This is insane, like absolutely crazy. So I really wanted to pull back to 550. That's what are you 1990 prices? Like, it's just insane how low this thing is. I've not bought them, but what I'm doing is I'm selling puts. So if the price, I'm happy to buy it at $8. I'm stoked if I can get it at $7. And so selling puts is like selling insurance. Let me see if I can share. I'll just log in for you guys to my Interactive Brokers account. And no, I won't, because I don't really want to show you all the trades and everything I've got on. But they're my levels on that, and I'm just cash flowing these, so I get a couple $100 on whatever as I go. Two-factor authentication, so I'm just going to log into this. I might do another stream and just do the first few. Oh, fuck me, bro! That pop just killed a bunch of my options. What a ball ache. What's the VIX at? So Vodafone, this is one. So I'm selling puts. I'm going to sell more for $8 today. The VIX is another one. So selling puts means if it gets to that price or goes under, you have to buy it at that price by that specific date. VIX is another one that I do, and like you just look historically over years and years and years, it just very, very rarely is it below 12. Right? You get these little peaks, but it's always above. For me, this is like getting something at 80% off. But what I'm doing is I'm selling insurance for it basically to someone. If it hits the price, then I have to buy it. So I have to have those funds in the account, right? But I don't really care because you look at these charts and you're like, well, if I do get it for 11 or if I get it for 12, within a very short period of time, I'm probably going to be able to sell it for 15, 17, 20. 20 is about the mean. So these levels for the VIX, I'm selling puts on that. I'm going to do some more today, probably for this month. If I can get 1150s, they're nice ones to put on. Yeah, so they're all really good things, and that's just little cash flow. So I try and if I can make an extra, 1,000 every 2 months or every month with that, it's cool. It's just something little. That has actually been my success rate on this is about 95% selling puts. Just look for really, really long-term levels, sell below it when the price comes down, and it just seems to go really, really well. And then if you end up buying them, you sell calls. So if I bought the VIX at 12, say it goes down to like 11.50 after my expiration, so I lose 50 cents on that, whatever, I'm pretty confident it's going to go back up. So I then sell $12.50 calls. So I then get paid to sell those calls. So I got cash flow on the way down, I get cash flow on the way up. If it goes over, yes, I miss the upside, but I'm just using it as a cash flow mechanism, right? So it depends how you want to use that mechanism. But this for me is, it's very, very effective way to cash flow some of this shit. So VIX is another one I'm looking at today. Vodafone, I'm going to do spreads. IWM, I'm going to do spreads for the downside. If you don't understand the spreads, just drop a comment. I'll do a video explaining it, and I'll go through it. Yeah, they're my 3 longer term ones. And so hopefully, just as pure cash into my account, I would hope that I can put another 2, maybe 3 grand today. Because you get that money instantly. And then it has to play out over the time. But, if I do sort of 2-3 grand, and at any point in time over the next 3 weeks or 4 weeks of that expiry, I'm up 80%. I just close them all. And then I get 2.4K. For selling insurance, basically. And then if something goes wrong, it's all good. I got 80%. If not, I've still won 80% of my trade. I'm pretty happy. So that's a longer term sort of method and approach that I'm doing. Let's set this screen back up to trade. I'm going to go get into it. I might jump on if we get some of these closed and they're coming into levels, and see if we can record some cool trades. All right, I'm out. Catch up. Go be green. Make money.